someone shouldn't be there. That line is odd, that reflection is misplaced. Let's have fun finding all the mistakes in our favorite horror films. Let me take you back. Let's rewind that old horror film.
Howdy, gang, and welcome to yet another edition of Horror Movie Rewind. Hey, Stacy. Hey, the poet. Stacy, if you're asking about favorite horror comedy of the '90s, I had to think about it as the intro was going on, and I thought, well, I think Army of Darkness fits the bill. It's part horror and part comedy, and it's part of my all-time favorite horror series of all time, the Evil Dead series. So I'm going to stick with that one. Um, but here in a little bit, we're going to be talking about all the goofs and trivia that I could dig up on Blood Rage, aka Nightmare at Shadow Woods, the Thanksgiving or a Thanksgiving themed horror movie. There's not a whole lot of those. There's, now Eli Ross Thanksgiving, which I like really well. There's Home Sweet Home. There's this one I'm going to talk about tonight. There's Thanksgiving. Actually, there are multiple Thanksgiving movies. Um, you're welcome, Stacy, and hello to you as well. I do like Son-in-Law. I have not seen Son-in-Law in a long time, but um, I do like it. I do remember liking it quite a bit. Um, so before we get into the movies, I just want to get few housekeeping things out of or before we get into the movie that we're going to talk about tonight. I just wanted to let you know, first of all, the rest of the programming I've got for the week. Tomorrow night, hopefully starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, will be They're All Messed Up. And I'm going to be talking about Eyeball and the Love Butcher and the kills in each one of those because, yeah, that's what we do on They're All Messed Up. Friday will be another Evil Dead Chicks slumber party. This is Evil Dead Chicks, A Nightmare on El Dorado Avenue slumber party. We're going to, hopefully several of us will be watching the original Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984, directed by Wes Craven, and Nightmare on Elm Street 4 as well. So be sure to be wearing your best PJ attire. Bring your stay awake pills, your coffee, or your other favorite caffeinated beverage of choice so that you can stay up for both movies and so Freddy don't get you. Saturday will be another watch along weekend, and this movie, Cannibal Holocaust, was chosen unanimously by poll. I've got another poll up now for some Christmas themed horror movies. And Black Christmas is still got 100% of the votes. But we also have Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Don't Open Till Christmas on the roster. So if you want to have a say so about which movies are chosen, or which movie is chosen for the next watch along, make sure you get in there and get your vote in early. Awesome, the poet. You say my package from you came. Thanks. And I hope you enjoy the movies, the poet. I hope you enjoy all of them. I know you picked it mainly because Night of the Creeps was in there, but I'm hoping that you enjoy the rest of them as well. Stacey, you say, would you make Evil Dead into a stunt show or a roller coaster down the street if you could? I think it would be an awesome roller coaster. So I would do that. So let me get the ways that you can support me and support the channel, and they won't cost you a dime. Make a new My Bloody Valentine? Mmm. I'm a sucker for the original My Bloody Valentine, Stacey. I mean, the 3D version that they remake that they made a few years back was good, but I'm still a sucker for that George Mahalka classic from 1981. So I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't make another My Bloody Valentine. But one of the ways that you could support me and the channel, and it won't cost you a dime, is by subscribing. Yeah, I've got a little over 1,000 subscribers, but hey, I want to keep growing, folks. There's nothing wrong with growing and getting better along the way. And there's never a bad time to subscribe to my channel or anybody else's channel out there. There's lots of fantastic channels out there doing all kinds of fantastic programming. So I promise I won't come and try to minister to you or sell you candy bars and cookies. Nobody has to know that you subscribed unless you want them to know, including me, because generally, folks, I look at the numbers. I don't go and dig in there and look at the names or anything. You can watch as many videos and live streams as you want or as little as you want. Nobody has to know that either. Okay. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the new content that I've got coming up. And also hit that like button if there's something if you particularly enjoy. And if you like it all, heck, hit that like button all across the board, folks. And here's one more way that you can support me in the channel, and it won't cost you a dime, won't cost anybody you tell about the channel a dime. And that's by sharing with friends and family members that you think might enjoy the content I'm putting out. Share my channel name with them. And again, I'm going to do you a solid and put my channel handle in the chat. Stacey, you say housekeeping time schedule, Black Christmas discussed, etc. Cool. So anyway, let's get into the movie Blood Rage, aka Nightmare at Shadow Woods. And let's start out by talking about some goofs in this. I didn't find a whole lot for this movie, but there are a few. As Andrea and Greg are kissing on the diving board, their position on the board changes between shots. When we see Terry stand behind his stepfather while he is readying his gun, he is very close to the door in one shot, but in the very next shot, he is leaning on the door. Terry stabs the assistant in the left part of his torso, but the wound is shown to be on the right. That's a common theme that I've found in a lot of movies, a common goof. The assistant's pose changes after his death. That's another thing that's found quite often in movies, especially low-budget movies. The doctor's dead pose is changed when later found by Todd, and her legs appear fully in the shot, unlike the first shot of her dead body. When Todd carries his mother to bed, her bathrobe is open and reveals her cleavage. The moment he lays her on the bed, the robe is suddenly fully closed. When the pair, Andrea and Greg, is found murdered in the sauna, they can be seen breathing. You can see the man's hand twitching after being cut off. Human body parts don't have the nerves needed to do something like that, at least not twitching as much as that hand twitches. But it's still a pretty cool effect, even if it's not a realistic thing. Okay, the doctor is shown cut in half, but still screaming. The body is too small to be her real body. It does look really weird. I mean, it's a cool effect, but that does look weird and is obviously fake. Her real body actually is in a hole in the ground, allowing her to act as a part of it. legs are shown twitching farther from the body, something human body parts can't do and cut off, at least not that strongly. When the stepfather is sitting at the desk and the mother is talking to him, and this is after he's dead, you can see him moving even though he's dead. And I noticed that as well. After the mother comes to the boys after Terry killed the guy in the car, we see a shot of him and you can see his eyes move a little. His pose is also changed from the one when he is killed. When Karen is hiding the baby in the cupboard, it is obvious she is not carrying a baby, but only an empty towel. I kind of always thought it looked like she was carrying a doll wrapped in a towel, actually. When the twins interact at the end of the movie, it's clear that they are using doubles since they are played by the same actor. You can see that by the hair change. And yes, you can definitely tell, by the back of the hair that it's different people. Just before Terry stabs Artie in the neck with the meat fork, a crew member can briefly be seen behind them in the background on the bridge, and I have seen that multiple times in the movie. In the beginning drive-in scene, the boy in the blue shirt, now I don't think this is a goof, but I'm going to read it off and then I'm going to explain to you guys and gals why I think it's not a goof. So in the beginning drive-in scene, the boy in the blue shirt, the twin in the blue shirt, is the one who finds the axe and walks away with it. But immediately after that, the boy in the white and red shirt is shown wielding it. Now, I'm pretty sure. Now, there may be some versions because there's like 3 different versions of this movie. But I'm pretty sure in at least one version, you actually see Terry come and take the axe from Todd and then go and kill the guy. So I think that's inaccurate as a goof. Okay. And that is all the goofs I was able to find. And we're going to get to these this trivia here. Thank you, Stacey. You say proud to subscribe and inform others as such. And Stacey also say Sam Raimi calls you. He says, should he produce a remake of The Tingler or Peeping Tom? Ooh, that is hard. But I think Sam Raimi would do an awesome job with The Tingler. I would like to see him do that. I have not seen The Cowboy Way, Stacey. I know what movie you're talking about, but I have not seen it, so I probably could not comment on that accurately. So let's talk about a little trivia from Blood Rage. Okay. This film was actually shot in 1983, but it didn't get released to theaters until 1987. This is the film debut of actor Ted Raimi, who cameos early on as the kid selling condoms at the drive-in theater. Raimi was 19 at the time. Very young Ted Raimi, and I absolutely love Ted Raimi. And Ted Raimi was the reason why I ever watched this movie the first time. Producer Marianne Cantor stepped in to play the role of Dr. Berman when the actress that was originally cast never showed up. The film was originally titled Slasher before it was released as Blood Rage. The 3-disc Arrow Video Blu-ray includes the Slasher title card opening, and I do have that set. Initially released to theaters as Blood Rage in March of 1987, by May, the title was changed to Nightmare at Shadow Woods for further regions. An earlier title for this film was The Complex. I'm glad they didn't, finally go with that. This was the last film to be distributed by the Film Concept Group. The line, "That isn't cranberry sauce," spoken by a victim and the murderer, is an unofficial tagline to this movie. Fans of the film will say that, and others will repeat it. Yeah, I love that tagline. That isn't cranberry sauce. Most of the characters are wearing Nike apparel with the logo being prominent in many shots. An M.C. Escher drawing of a hand is seen on the wall of Brad's office just before Brad's hand is cut off by Terry. I missed that one. I did not realize that. So, not a whole heck of a lot of goofs or trivia, but I did want to share those with you folks so that you can, maybe you want to go back and watch Blood Rage, aka Nightmare at Shadow Woods, and you want to go back and see if you can find all those goofs in it. As well as, I throw in the trivia just as a little extra thing. Would I want an MC Escher biopic? I don't know, Stacy. Probably not at this time, but I'm sure there are people that would. And you said that isn't cranberry sauce. That's right. Yeah, that is, for me, it definitely is the unofficial tagline for Blood Rage. Well, guys, gals, Stacy, the poet, I am so glad that you guys came into the chat and hung out with me tonight. I really, really appreciate it. And for those of you that maybe didn't feel comfortable getting in the chat, but you were watching along as I was going through the trivia and the goofs for Blood Rage, I want to thank you as well. And for those of you that didn't get a chance to join me as I was doing this live, but that you will watch it on the replay, I appreciate you guys and gals. Guys and gals, sorry, can't talk tonight. Guys and gals as well. And I guess that is it for me for tonight. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of They're All Messed Up. And I'm going to be talking about Eyeball and the Love Butcher. It's sure to be a fun time tomorrow night. We've got the Evil Dead Chicks Nightmare on El Dorado Avenue Slumber Party Friday night starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, because we're going to be watching two movies. Nightmare on Elm Street, the original Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984, directed by Wes Craven, and Nightmare on Elm Street 4. And Saturday, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, will be a watch along for Cannibal Holocaust. And make sure you get in there and vote for the upcoming Christmas offerings for the next watch along that I believe is going to be on December the 6th. I'll have to double check myself. But as always, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday night, folks. We're getting ever closer to the weekend. I hope each and every one of you has the weekend off and that you have something spectacular planned. And if you love Ozzy as much as I do, get out there and blast some Ozzy and try your best to live the Ozzy way. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is, don't stay stuck in the past, folks. Move forward from the present into the future, but don't worry about the future, folks. And don't ever, ever give up on your dreams. Again, have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday night, and I'll see everybody next time.